welcome to the first episode of the Monsters in the Closet. I am your host, Creeper the Clown, and I will be bringing to you selections of C, D, and possibly F grade horror films that I've picked up here and there around the web. And I'm going to be reviewing ones that I think actually had potential if they'd been done properly. And or noting that some are pretty good just the way they are. And in fact, I probably wouldn't change anything on the second entry for today. Our first feature is called A Grim Becoming. And it was released in 2014, starring Devani Pinn, Jessica Cameron, and Lynn Lowry. To be honest, I've not heard the names before, and I was not truly overwhelmed with the acting. I'm sad to say, but the script I really liked. I really liked the whole storyline, and I'll be honest, I mean, the lead and the incarnation of death actually did a pretty good job with it. I mean, they weren't terrible. And the story is actually about revolves around a young executive who is heading back to his hometown because there's been a death in the family. And on the way, he encounters a Reaper in the performance of his duties. And in this magical little universe that apparently destroys that particular Reaper, and the person who saw it has to take over the role. And it then becomes a battle where this gentleman is he does not want to become a Grim. He does not want to become a Grim Reaper. He tells Death that. Death pretty much tells him, fuck you. And so the whole story revolves around him trying to lift this curse from himself. And it had some funny moments and some things I hadn't really thought about in movies before. Like I said, the script really had potential. If it had been, if it were to be redone by somebody who actually had some money to put into it, it would be a pretty good movie, I think. But as it was, it's I'm gonna give it. I have to go with a D because the special effects were so heinous. I mean, they were terrible. And that kind of took the tone down, but overall the story was actually not bad. It was a story about death and the Grim Reaper that I hadn't read or seen before, a different way of looking at it, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who are taking, even though they don't have buckets of money to throw into this stuff, the buckets of money they should have to throw into this stuff, and review the movie that they have given us. And I mean, I'll be honest, there have been ones I have not even been able to get through, and I watched the schlockiest movies that ever existed. Because, hey, I'm Creeper the Clown. This is basically what I do too, just not in a movie. Well, like I said, I thought, like I said, the storyline was strong. Some of the acting was on point. Some needed work. The special effects were abysmal. I mean, I can't even step up and say that there was one that blew my mind. But overall, the movie itself was not a bad movie. I actually was glad I had watched it. I'd gone into it with a feeling, and ended up with a halfway decent flick. And the second one I'm reviewing today is called It Stains the Sands Red. It's from 2016 and stars Brittany Allen, Juan Ridinger, and Merwin Mondesir. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. And it is your basic zombie apocalypse movie. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie, I like the zombie genre, and I'm always interested to watch something where somebody has tried to put a slightly different spin on the whole storylines. And this one actually, I mean, again, it was another one of those that in first 10 minutes I almost turned off just because the interaction between the two main characters at the very beginning just wasn't thrilling me, you know? It was awkward. But after the car breaks down that they're in, and the guy, you know, undergoes one of those the kind of accidents one does in the zombie apocalypse, um, that leaves his girlfriend alone with a car that's not running, and they were heading somewhere to be evacuated from the area, you know, to safety. That we all really know it really exists in the zombie world, but you know, she sees um, the creature that has attacked her boyfriend runs screaming into the desert because that's what you do in those situations, apparently. And you know, it was starting off being very formulaic, and you know, it was just like, oh, he's getting out of the car. Oh, he's gonna get bit. Oh, now she's gonna scream like a nut and run in the desert. But after that, it actually takes a different twist with that zombie trailing her across the desert. I mean, to the point where she will go a period of time not seeing it, and suddenly it pops back up again. And it ends up kind of being a zombie buddy story, I guess, because at first she was terrified of this thing and couldn't run fast enough to get away from it. And then over time, it's the only thing she has to interact with. And she starts looking at it with less and less, um, I guess I wouldn't say prejudice. I mean, um, don't get me wrong, this thing is trying to eat her, and it's a struggle of this woman lost in the desert with no water, no resources really, just slowly being followed by this creature that wants to kill her. And it ended up being pretty good. You know, by the end of the movie, again, it was another one that I was glad to have watched. I decided to start off this program with ones that I thought had potential behind them and were really um, somebody put some thought into the scripts, which is something I'm always looking for. I mean, these days, all you get from Hollywood is a regurgitation of the last hit, you know? So when I see people who are taking things, even if it ends up being a dumb premise, I'd rather have a dumb premise than no real premise at all, you know? And I unfortunately, I think that the powers that be out west really think that if they just keep respinning and respinning and respinning the same tales, that we're gonna just keep coming and watching it. You know, I for one am glad that I have online access to different uh, platforms that stream these genres and will pick up these unknown movies and you know throw them up just you know as included with the package, but in the end they ended up being pretty good movies for what they were. And that's why I decided to start doing this show, is because there's so many things that we're overlooking as we're paying huge ticket prices to see something get turned from a cartoon to live action, you know, especially when they cut the best songs out of it. Screw that. And or you know, it's been 20 years, let's or oh, it's been a generation, you know, the new generation needs a new, like, Hairspray movie, or we need a new Rocky Horror Picture Show, or we need, you know, I was griefing on it. I'm not gonna lie, I was griefing. Because to me, Tim Curry, was my Pennywise. He didn't scare me, I just thought he was cool as hell. And with the idea of replacing him with a newer, not Tim Curry, um, actually made me feel a little sad. But in the end, the movie turned out not to be too bad. I saw it a couple of times, and not gonna lie, but I mean it's got to come to a point where we gotta start finding your own entertainment. I guess it's out there. If you look, if you get like advice here or somewhere, check out these smaller movie houses and what they're putting out. I mean, I'm actually getting to the point where I'm starting to recognize some of these guys, and or some that are actually coming out in new movies that I used to watch when they were just starting. And I'm like, oh my god, I used to watch their stuff all the time, you know. So I'm just really trying to, like I said, give a little bit of a summary of movies that I've encountered that are in the horror genre, and I thought got a raw deal being produced when and how they were produced that had the potential to actually bring a different look to the screen. And so Creeper is going to be coming in. I haven't decided how often. It all depends. Sometimes I need to be creeping. But I'll be coming periodically to give reviews of movies that I thought had merit and that others would enjoy. And until that time, I'm going to say farewell, and I will see you in my next video.